Hello and welcome to the Villa Park podcast. It's me, Rich, and I'm back with another transfer roundup show, rounding up all of the latest Aston Villa transfer news. And it has been another busy day for links to Aston Villa. We haven't actually signed anyone yet, but we are still in the market for a number of players. And this time it is centre-backs and forward players again that are linked with Aston Villa. Before we get into it, though, I just want to say a huge thank you to you all for your support. We have hit 5,000 subscribers and couldn't have dreamed of this when we first started the channel, but to hit 5,000 is absolutely amazing. So thank you all for your support. We don't want to stop there, though. We want to hit 10K next. So please do continue to like and subscribe and get your comments in, your thoughts on the players we're linked with, and whether you think we can get one over the line in the next couple of days. So as I said, centre-backs and forwards linked so far. Now, the first one that we're going to talk about is Milan Skriniar of PSG, Paris Saint Germain. And obviously he made his name at Inter Milan and played 193 games, scoring 10 goals between 2017 and 2023. Then moved to Paris Saint Germain in 2023, but has only played 29 times, so hasn't really nailed down a first team spot there. 6'2", age 29, and is the Slovakian captain, I believe, having 77 caps and scoring 3 goals. So a bit of a brute, strong, I guess, real rock at the back, and maybe someone that Aston Villa need to, be an option for us at centre-back who can, throw themselves into tackles, block shots, be, as I say, that rock at the back. Yes, we've got Tyrone Mings, who's a real leader, but I guess we sometimes need someone else. And we've seen, I guess, this sort of throwback to these old style centre-backs. Look at Nottingham Forest centre-backs, look at Newcastle centre-backs at the moment. And I guess that might be something that Unai Emery wants an option of, to kind of have an old-fashioned centre-half to call upon for Aston Villa. So if we look at his SOFA score now, it's not a great sample size in terms of his his stats, because he hasn't really played too much for Paris Saint Germain. But if we look at last season, operated across the back, predominantly on that left centre back side, played 24 times in total, started 17 games, and didn't score any goals and didn't assist any. But in terms of his accuracy of passing, high 90%, which is good, 70% in terms of accurate long balls. Now we have to factor in Paris Saint-Germain, one of the strongest team in France. So obviously going to get the ball a lot, have the ball a lot, and have possession a lot. 5 clean sheets during those games, 4.6 ball recoveries, 2.1 clearances. So, as we know, strong tackler, good header of the ball, good at ground duels. So we know that something that we could potentially benefit from. And I guess he's wanting first team football. He's wanting to maybe have a fresh start somewhere to kind of rekindle his career. And a loan move with maybe an option to buy could be a good shout for someone like him, and could give Villa an option for a real old-fashioned type centre-back. Now, you guys let me know your thoughts in the comments, whether you think he would be an interesting sign. I think Tottenham are potentially interested, as are a number of other clubs. But according to the Daily Mail, we have been offered him. Unai Emery has been offered him on loan. Obviously, with Pau Torres being out, he's on a big contract. He's on £200,000 a week, but he's under contract till 2028. So would probably have to be some sort of just a loan move. But we will wait and see whether he chooses Villa. And whether he's open to it. It's interesting that Tottenham may be interested, but Aston Villa have the Champions League football that could be the deciding factor. Now, another player that we're linked with is Flavian Enzo Boyomo of Osasuna. Now, he is an interesting centre-back as well. As I said, playing for Osasuna, 23 years of age, only 5'11", has played 15 times for Osasuna, scoring 1 goal. Was at Valladolid the season before that, playing 41 times, scoring 1 goal. And Albacete from 2020 to 2023, scoring 2 goals in 93 games. He's Cameroonian by descent and has represented Cameroon once. And so he's capped once for Cameroon. So again, potentially an interesting one if we look at his SOFA score information in terms of his stats. Let me just get them up. He's, as I say, playing for Osasuna. In terms of his strength, it's tackling and ground duels. So again, a strong tackling player. Obviously, I imagine can get about the pitch and sort of wholehearted, as we know a lot of kind of the African defenders are. Very, very much in terms of going into the tackle hard. If you remember the likes of Kolo Toure and defenders like that, leave everything on the pitch. And again, something that maybe Aston Villa need. Operates predominantly down that left channel, the left centre-back channel, so could be interesting. Played 18 times, started 18 games, played every minute of every game in the league, scored 1 goal. And from inside of the box with his right foot. Hasn't assisted, but in terms of passing accuracy, 88%, which is good. 93% in his own half, 79% in the opposition half. 6 clean sheets, which is fantastic for this team in the Spanish league. 3.7 ball recoveries per game, 3.9 clearances per game. So puts his body on the line, gets the ball out of danger. And in terms of the ground duels, 58% ground duels won, 52% of total duels won. So 42% of aerial duels won, and he's only 5'11". So that's a good sign as well. And at 23 years of age, could be a good buy and someone to watch out for. So interesting one. If anyone knows any more about him, please let me know in the comments, and you guys let me know whether you think he would be a potential interesting signing. Now, onto the forward players, and this guy's been linked with us quite a few times, Samuel Chukwueze of AC Milan, and probably, again, another forward player who wants to reignite his career, wants to maybe get a fresh start, and has really had a great time at Villarreal before moving to AC Milan, scoring 21 goals in 155 appearances. Since moving to AC Milan in 2023, he has 2 goals in 41, has 42 caps for Nigeria, scoring 6 goals. And as I say, it's probably struggled a little bit to nail down a first team spot, but there are reports that Aston Villa are interested in him and could be a potential move, loan move, or loan with an option to buy, or maybe even a transfer. But this might be in terms of the Donyell Marlon that we're probably lining up some other options potentially if that one does fall by the wayside. But again, looking at his SOFA score, again, not really a huge amount of sample size to go after. But as I say, playing for AC Milan, plays predominantly down that right hand side, can play right wing, can play right midfield. And if we look at his heat map there, like I say, right across that right-hand side and can cut in. Has played 17 times in total, starting 9 games. 1 goal so far this season, so not amazing in terms of that. With his left foot, so like I say, cuts inside from that right-hand side in the Leon Bailey mould. So again, could be a separate option to Leon Bailey. 3 big chances created, so no assists yet. 84% in the accuracy per game, so 88% in his own half, 71% in the opposition half. And in terms of the dribbles, mid 50%, and total and duels won in that 50% rate as well. So again, like I say, not a huge sample size to look at, but something to work with in terms of his ability and in terms of his pace and in terms of potential option for to push Leon Bailey or as an alternative to Leon Bailey. So one to watch out for. But you guys let me know. Is it the Donyell Marlon that would be more attractive, or would you go for someone like a Samuel Chukwueze? And again, the Mawani deal is still in the offing as well. Kolo Mawani is still potentially looked at as an option for Aston Villa. One more for the future, I would imagine, is a player called Tidiam Gomis of Caen. And if we look at him in terms of his career so far, has played 25 times since 2023, scoring 4 goals. He's only 18 years of age, 6 foot, and has represented France right up to from under 16 to under 19 level. So again, one probably for the future in the kind of Kostin Nedeljkovic sort of realm. Probably not someone who's going to trouble the first team right now, but certainly one who, looking at his his kind of pedigree and looking at kind of taking the talent from across Europe and bringing them to Aston Villa. So if we look at him, it operates down the left-hand side, but also pops up on the right, playing in Ligue 2 at the moment. So again, it would be a huge step up. So again, it's probably someone for the future to then loan out or stay at his club and then come to Aston Villa in the summer. 11 games started, 17 in total played, 2 goals and two with his right foot, 2 assists. Good accuracy in terms of passing, so 85% in total, 78% in the opposition half, which is pretty good for a winger. 3.2 ball recoveries per game, and in terms of the dribbles, 44% in terms of successful dribbles, and ground duels, in the sort of 40%, which again for a winger of his age is probably something that we would come to expect. So again, someone probably for the future. Definitely, you look at the pedigree of French forwards, French wingers, anyone who is playing for the under-19s and moving into sort of that under-21 level for France is going to be pretty highly rated. So that one would be one for the future and one to probably keep an eye on. Now, finally, I haven't got him on the picture on our thumbnail, but there has been a lot of links with Jamie Bino Gittens of Borussia Dortmund, who seems to be having a real breakthrough season and is attracting a lot of interest. I think Liverpool are really, really trying to push real interest in this player, but Aston Villa have been mentioned as a potential club as well that could be interested in him. He's known because he was part of Chelsea's academy. He went to Reading, then Manchester City, where I think he was threatening to go into the first team, but then moved to Germany in 2020 and then started playing for the first team at Borussia Dortmund from 2022, where he's now played 60 times, scoring 9 goals. He's represented England right from under 15s through to under 21 level now, scoring 1 goal in 11 games for England under 21s, and he's really starting to attract a lot of interest. So let's have a look at his SofaScore details. Interesting in terms of his plays across that left side, so more of a left winger. Really good rating so far this season, so he's having a really, really good season. If we look at that, all down that left-hand side, cutting inside, 11 starts, 15 times played, 5 goals so far scored this season, which is really good, and 4 big chances missed as well, so could have had a lot more. 5 goals from inside the box, 2 with his left foot, 3 with his right foot, so comfortable with both feet. 3 assists as well, and 5 big chances created. So really having a real good season, and at his age, could be one who's very, very highly rated, but I'd imagine going to command quite a big fee. He's probably the next cab on the rank for Dortmund to make a lot of money on. 83% in terms of passing accuracy, 91% in his own half, 71% in the opposition half, and in terms of 1.9 ball recoveries, 54% in terms of successful dribbles and nearly 3 per match. So a very threatening player, and in terms of the duels won in the 50% as well. So does put himself about and can really win tackles as well. So really good player and someone to probably really keep an eye on, and it would be a really exciting player. And maybe people are talking about moving Jaden Philogene on and maybe getting Jamie Gittens in as a replacement, which would be a hell of a replacement for now. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see on that. If the likes of Liverpool and 1 or 2 others are interested in him, I think that might be a more likely destination for him. You guys let me know your thoughts in the comments. Obviously, Mingueza's still there or thereabouts with a potential deal. Marlon hopefully is going to be announced pretty soon if that is the player that we're going to go for. But obviously, it's good to have backups in terms of the likes of Chukwueze. I keep an eye on Muani as well. And obviously, Diego Carlos, there's still that deal to be done potentially with Fenerbahce. So still a few things in the offing. We'll be back tomorrow with another transfer roundup, seeing what's happening. We'll also be back with match preview for West Ham in the FA Cup. Obviously, they've just sacked Lopetegui and appointed Graham Potter. So that is going to be very interesting to see if they get that new manager bounce on Villa's 150th anniversary game. So yeah, loads to talk about. Like I say, thank you so much for helping us hit that 5K. We want to keep growing and growing and growing, but thank you so much for your support. Keep liking, keep subscribing, get your comments in. Thank you for watching, and as always, remember, we'll follow the Villa.